Let's be real for a second. Creating professional compliance documents is, a critical part of any regulated industry, but it's also a massive pain. So, what if you could use AI to turn hours of that tedious work into just a few minutes? We're about to look at a tool that promises to do just that.
Seriously, just think about it. If you work in maritime or healthcare or finance, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's that never-ending cycle of writing, checking, and then re-updating all that regulatory paperwork. It's a huge time suck.
And it's not just about the time, is it? It's the pressure. It's high-stakes stuff. One tiny error can snowball into a huge problem, and the rules are always changing. You're constantly fighting just to keep up.
Yeah, we're calling this whole thing the compliance document headache. It's that feeling of being completely buried under tedious, manual work when you know you should be focusing on, well, your actual job.
But what if there was a better way, a real solution? Well, that's where SYRAG comes into the picture. It's a platform that was literally built from the ground up to solve this one specific nagging headache.
So how does SYRAG actually pull this off? It's pretty clever, actually. It gives you two totally different ways to create your documents. It lets you choose what matters most to you, total control or just incredible speed.
And here's the choice it lays out for you. On one hand, you've got manual mode. This is for when you need to control every single word, perfect for those super sensitive or one-of-a-kind documents. But then, on the other hand, there's the LLM-assisted mode. This is where the AI does all the heavy lifting, making you up to 10 times faster on all those standard procedures.
Okay, let's zoom in on that AI path, because this is where a new, really critical skill comes into play, writing good prompts. To get truly professional results from any AI, you've got to learn how to talk to it effectively, and it all starts with the prompt.
First off, what even is an LLM? Don't get lost in the jargon. Honestly, the best way to think about it is like having your own personal AI expert. It's an expert that's been trained in your specific field, and it's ready to draft professional documents for you whenever you ask.
So how do you ask effectively? Well, it all boils down to a really simple formula. You just have to clearly state the action, the topic, the requirements, and any specific details. You get that right, and you are going to get a great result every single time. And this right here illustrates the difference perfectly. If you give the AI a vague prompt like, write a GDPR procedure, you're going to get garbage back. It just doesn't have enough to go on. But look at the excellent prompt. It's clear, it's structured, it has all the details, and that's how the AI can generate exactly what you need. It turns confusion into clarity. So, here's your cheat sheet for getting great results. You always want to be specific about your industry. Name the actual regulations you're dealing with, like GDPR or SOLAS. Detail the steps that need to be in there. Mention who the document is for, and add any unique rules your company has. This is how you get professional-grade content from an AI. Okay, so the AI just wrote you a brilliant document in a matter of seconds. Amazing. But that brings us to the single most important question you should be asking. How can you be absolutely sure that all those regulatory references are correct and up to date? How can you actually trust it? Well, this is where SYRAG's real killer feature comes in. It's a simple but incredibly powerful three-step verification process. First, the system automatically scans your document and finds every single regulatory citation. Second, it goes out and searches official sources online to check that each one is real and current. And finally, it gives you a super simple report with a confidence score for every single reference.
And this is what that report looks like. You get a really clear, color-coded status, a green check for verified references with a high confidence score, and just as important, you get a red warning for anything it couldn't verify. That tells you exactly where you need to apply your human expertise. It's basically your compliance safety net.
You see, ultimately, this feature isn't just about speed, it's about confidence. It's about looking at a number like this and just getting that peace of mind, knowing your documentation is built on a foundation of verified, accurate information.
All right, once your document is written and fully verified, putting it to work is totally seamless. This is where you finalize the whole process and really start to see those real-world benefits. Everything is saved securely and indexed so you can find it later, and you can export it in a bunch of different formats, like a PDF to share with your team, or JSON so you can integrate it directly with your other systems. It's all about flexibility.
So, let's just put it all together. This becomes your new workflow, your new best practice for compliance. You start with clear, specific prompts. You include the right references. You verify every single document.
You always give the AI's work a final human review, and then you save your work. That's the new standard.
And that brings us to the final and maybe the most important question. When you take all those hours you used to spend wrestling with documents and you get them back, what are you going to do with all that time? What bigger problems are you going to solve? That's the real power of a tool like this.